Okay. And let me share my screen with you. Technology today. Let's go. Okay. Hopefully everyone can see my screen now. Let me make sure. Yes. Okay. Looks like everything is sharing. Okay. Amazing. Let me get this closed here on my end. I know you guys can't see this. Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's cold full moon in Gemini. Tonight is the 15th of December, our last full moon of 2024. Some of you may be feeling really empowered and creative, inspired even under tonight's lunation, and many others will be feeling a bit airy, perhaps scattered. That's because our friend Gemini is an air element. And so, depending on what kind of elements make up your own chart, you may be feeling this moon energy in a few different ways. And so, firstly, I just want to say thank you, everyone, so much for being here tonight and for taking the time out to be here and take the time to spend for yourself. If you have not already grabbed a pen, paper, journaling materials, definitely have that handy for tonight. My name is Allie Marie, for those of you who don't know me or who are catching this via replay on YouTube. I am the owner of Ascend Studio Salon, currently located in Sunnyvale, California, and I am so excited to be hosting my sixth full moon ritual ceremony, full moon Zoom tonight. Can't believe it's already been half a year of doing these, and it's been awesome to see all of the people who have gotten to be here for the live events, as well as catch up with people after the events, especially after during the replays. Tonight, I'm going to kick things off as I have with my last few rituals here, which is with a ritual prayer. I'm then going to be going into talking about the lunar energy in more detail tonight, as well as not just talking about our Gemini elements, but also the cold full moon and the winter elements. Now, because Gemini is an air sign, and air can be kind of one of those tricky elements to navigate for a lot of people, it's a lot more etheric, it's a lot less tangible than, say, water, fire, and earth. Right? So I wanted to spend some time talking about how we can harness the energy of tonight's lunation, especially with it having so much of an airy effect. And a lot of that will be dealing with smoke cleansing and aromatic cleansing, which will bring us right into my handmade ritual mists. So I'm very excited to share more about that with you. So, with that being said, let's get into it. First and foremost, tonight's moon is, with it being in the sign of Gemini and Gemini being all about intellect, intention, and using your mind's power behind things, tonight's moon benefits most from setting an intentional space. So that will be things such as lighting candles with intention, sitting with certain crystals such as citrine, selenite, and blue lace agate, all of which are tied to Gemini. Those are all really helpful items. And as well as having journaling materials, especially if you are spending any time in meditation, because again, with Gemini being more about the intellect, um, you definitely want to have some note-taking materials handy. Now, incense is also a great tool. I have some incense lit across the room, but I am now going to light my protection candle, which I have Uh, added my own protection sigils too. And I am planning on doing a class on how to do sigils and how to create your own sigils. So stay tuned for that. And with that, with the lighting of this candle, this ritual is now open. I am cleansing my auric field and surrounding in protection. Let's take a few deep breaths. And let's begin. Under this full moon in Gemini, I open my mind to clarity and truth. May my words flow with purpose and power, aligning my thoughts with the highest good. I release confusion, doubt, and fear, making room for wisdom and insight to appear. I embrace adaptability and open-hearted connection, guided by the energy of divine intention. And so it is. So tonight's energy has a few different parts to it. The cold moon aspect represents closures, endings. It's a time of reflection on the past year, especially with it being our final full moon of 2024. Um, I know that for a lot of people, there was a lot that happened this year, and so it's an excellent time to spend time in reflection and in meditation and journaling, looking back at everything that kind of happened and what some key takeaways were. And I'm going to be providing a few journal prompts in just a few minutes around that as well. We also have the winter energy of December, the stillness of nature that happens in December, which is very contradictory to the hustle and bustle culture that we've kind of created around the holiday season with Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, all of these things happening one right after the other. It can feel really chaotic when nature is actually doing everything to slow down. It's kind of in our nature to want to slow down. So our physical body is feeling that, we're having less light during the day, but yet this Gemini influence is coming in of this full moon. Gemini, being ruled by Mercury, governs speech, self-expression, writing, learning, duality, mental agility, also focus and adaptability. So again, so much up in our head, up in your mind. So when we have this disconnect between the body and what's going on in the mind, a lot of times we can feel really scattered. It can feel really hard to ground ourselves. And again, on top of the modern expectation of the holiday season, there's like a lot of energy going on. So some of the things that I thought would be useful for today was to share some tools to get ourselves grounded in our physical bodies as well as in our spiritual and emotional energies. Now, one of the key concepts that I mentioned was duality. The Gemini twins highlight everything that is dual about our existence. That's light and dark, beginnings, endings, life, death, happiness, sadness, known, unknown things. This is all the area of Gemini. So as we sit down to journal and reflect on everything that has happened in 2024, look at the dualities of your life. Look at what polarities in your life might need balancing, integration, and harmony. This could be a balance between, work life and social life, self-care and caring for others. This could be in a whole lot of things. But if there's anywhere in your life where you have been really cognizant of something that is not balanced, um, definitely take note of that because as you are sitting in meditation, journaling about these things, you are getting all of the emotion and the thought that's just ruminating in your mind into your physical body by physically writing it down. And especially under this moon, you will find that more than likely some new perspectives are going to open up for you. Pathways, answers, things that you've been trying to figure out that haven't really become clear yet. Okay, so taking all of the thoughts that are in our heads and putting it into the physical onto paper, all right, by first examining the polarities in our life in order to integrate and find that harmony. The next thought prompt that we might want to consider. Full moons are always about release. It's about the culmination of a cycle. And this moon specifically, for a lot of the signs here, if you are not an air sign being a Gemini, a Libra, or Aquarius, if you are not an air sign, most likely you are needing to get out of your head right now. You need to release some old limiting beliefs that are keeping you stagnant and stuck, letting go of old narratives that no longer serve you anymore, and getting rid of mental clutter that does not serve you, ruminating over things that you literally cannot control, worrying about the what ifs of everything. So, in order to do that, write down what you want to release on a piece of paper and burn it by an anointed candle. This is going to release smoke, which again ties into that Gemini energy, the air element. Really, really powerful way of releasing things tonight. Now, what do I mean by an anointed candle? Well, an anointed candle, my candle is now burning, so I don't want to pick it up again. But what you can do before lighting a candle is um, anointing it with a sacred oil, either one that you've purchased or you can create one your own using olive oil as a base is a really great place to start. Using herbs, which if you are curious about what kinds of herbs you can use, I do have a document that I sent out a few full moons ago with some herbal things that you can use that you may already have in your kitchen in order to anoint candles. And if you're interested in that, be more than happy to send that out again to you. Just let me know. But rubbing oil on the candle and then anointing with herbs, not a lot of oil, just a little bit, is a really, really powerful way of, again, setting intentions because Gemini benefits from setting intentions, creating this intentional sacred space. And like, it's about the setup, it's all about the preparation. Gemini absolutely thinks 10 steps ahead of anyone else. So, the more effort or thought that goes into a ritual, specifically in this case, a release and renewal, the more powerful you're going to find it. Next, Gemini is all about connection and curiosity, engaging in lighthearted conversation, exchanging information with people who might not even share your same beliefs will be especially profound during this window of time, especially when you are seeking to understand something new. Gemini loves learning new things. They love the mental stimulation of having deep conversation with people. So this moon is encouraging you to take a class, to seek out mentorship, to talk to a professional, to reconnect with your loved ones, and to expand your social network. So whenever you have the opportunity during this full moon time, some really amazing memories and things will be made right now. The things that you will learn right now could have the ability to stick with you for a very, very long time. If there's something that you've been, curious about or just wanting to expand upon, see if you can find someone that you can connect with around that topic right now. Seeking out mentorship and even setting something up out in 2025. If you can do that right now under this moon, your energy, your intention behind all of that will carry on through the next year and whenever you are approaching this new energy. Okay. And then, of course, journaling and introspection. I always like to recommend journaling under a full moon because there's just a lot more influence and energy happening on us. Um, but this airy Gemini moon, especially for myself as a fire sign, air fuels fire. And so for me right now, I feel like the ideas have just been popping off even faster than I can write them down. I've been having just so much come up that it almost feels like overwhelming. So if I don't get things onto paper, it's almost like all of that magic and all of these downloads will just get lost. So Gemini is literally begging us to get our thoughts in order, write things down, start to like get the outline built of what needs to happen next so that you can start to build out that plan. If you're somebody that's a water sign or an earth sign, air is not so friendly with earth and water signs. Air gets along best with fire signs. And so if you are an earth sign, that means if you are a Virgo, Capricorn, or a Taurus, or if you are a water sign, a Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces, more than likely this air energy to you either feels suffocating or extremely um like the air has been sucked out kind of a feeling. To earth signs, it's very drying. It's very like hindering and it doesn't nourish or bring as much of the creativity out as it would for, say, for example, a fire sign. So for my native water and earth signs, especially try and journal practicing gratitude because even if things are feeling really difficult right now, getting into that energy of gratitude is going to help you push through some of that heaviness that you might be feeling, or even like the scatteredness in your mind that you might be feeling, in order to really look at what went really well with this situation and what did I learn that I want to do better for next time. And even just so something as simple as asking yourself how you feel in the moment and processing your feelings will be really, really helpful. But again, grounding into gratitude. Now, when we're sitting in meditation, especially under this moon, and for tonight and for the next 2 nights, because the energy of the full moon can be felt 3 days leading up to peak illumination and then 3 days after. So as you're sitting in meditation over the next couple days, you want to think over again those dualities, asking your spirit team and your angels to guide you to help you integrate your shadow in order to like really bring the peace, balance, harmony in all aspects of your life. So that means even when you are dealing with other people or approaching new situations, you want to come from a place of being balanced. And that starts by first looking at the duality because everything is a give and take. It's light and dark. It's all of these things. And so to look at, where that balance lies in your life will help you find, that missing piece. Now, smoke and aroma for me is an extremely powerful spiritual tool. Now, I don't have a statistic for you as far as like how strong of a sense smell is for us, but I know that we can all relate to the experience of smelling something that reminds you of someone specific. For example, I can smell a certain perfume or something that will make me think of my Oma, or I will smell a certain, food and it will make me think of another person. And so it's this our sense of smell as it relates to our everyday lived life is very powerful. So when we start incorporating smell, aroma, even smoke, into our spiritual practices, it allows us to tap into that frequency of being in that sacred space when we're out in the world. and it's chaotic. And we are Christmas shopping in Target or Costco or whatever, and we're standing there and there's people all around, and maybe people are being rude or whatever the situation is. If you have, for example, a ritual mist on you or something handy that you can, quickly smell, spray over you, that triggers your mind and your body into a different state of being. It's like it's a different kind of exercise, kind of like physical exercise, and your body builds muscle memory. Aroma has the ability to create a muscle memory or a spiritual muscle memory for us so that when we are feeling like we're in a place of chaos or dis-ease, we can easily tap back into a place of calm, a place of gratitude, or a place of abundance, or a place of love, or whatever the intention is behind that aroma that we assign to that said aroma. So, burning herbs like lavender, mint, will help it enhance calm and focus. You can also diffuse essential oils, or, like I mentioned, you can also use ritual mists to anchor your intentions, anchor that frequency within your physical body so that you can tap into it anytime. Now, harnessing the air element, the air quality of Gemini, as well as Libra and Aquarius, is powerful in all rituals, not just under tonight's lunation, but it is especially powerful under tonight's lunation. So, I wanted to first make sure to explain that smoke cleansing and clearing is a practice that uses the smoke from burning herbs, woods, or resins to purify energy, spaces, or objects. But it is important that we have to respect cultural boundaries when doing smoke cleansing and clearing. This is like one of the most ancient tools, spiritual tools that have been used across many, many cultures. And with the rise of spiritual awareness lately, and many people coming into their spiritual power, it's very easy for us to just see something on social media and decide, like, oh, I'm going to do this. Oh, I'm going to do that. Oh, I saw somebody do this, so now I'm going to do it. But it's important to understand where these spiritual practices come from so that we can make sure that we are practicing respectfully and observing cultural boundaries. So let's talk about a few of those things. First, closed practices. A closed practice refers to spiritual traditions or rituals that are sacred to specific cultures or communities. These spiritual practices are passed down through lineage or initiation and are not meant to be used by those outside the culture without permission. Using elements from closed practices is considered cultural appropriation. Now, safe space here. If I call out anything that maybe you have done or used before, do not feel guilty about it, because this is an opportunity for learning. This is why I'm sharing this. So, examples of closed practices include smudging. Smudging is a sacred ceremonial practice of many indigenous peoples. It involves burning specific herbs like white sage as part of prayer or purification rituals. Another closed practice is using Palo Santo. Palo Santo is a wood that is sacred to indigenous peoples of South America, and it is often used in spiritual healing ceremonies. Okay, so what do I do instead of using sage or Palo Santo? You can choose to use other alternatives that are available and considered open practice options, which I will share in just a few minutes. But if you are going to be using sage or Palo Santo, number one, make sure that you are educating yourself on the origins and meanings of the practice so that you can practice it respectfully. And of course, you must first seek permission, engaging respectfully with the members of the culture you wish to learn about. Ensure that you are only purchasing ethically and sustainably sourced tools, white sage and Palo Santo specifically. They should always be ethically and sustainably sourced and come with the full permission of the community members where this stuff is coming from. A lot of people are not aware that white sage and Palo Santo are both ecologically very important in the two specific places of the world where they come from. And they're also dramatically over harvested to the point where even native cultures who use these in spiritual and religious practices don't have access to them because they are over harvested in their community and then they are being exported without the permission of these communities and then therefore making it hard for them to even get any to for them to use themselves. So it's a big problem in this rise of spiritual awareness. So it's just important that you do the best you can until you know better. And then when you know better, you do better. Maya Angelou said that. And so if you happen to have some white sage in your cabinet, with your spiritual tools, or you have Palo Santo, it doesn't mean like now all of a sudden you can't use it. Of course, you still can. You already have it. But just know that now that you know this information, the next time that you want to incorporate smoke cleansing into your spiritual practice, just know that you can and should probably look for alternative options. And don't worry, I am going to be sharing what those alternative options are. So, smoke clearing and cleansing. Of course, we already talked about white sage and Palo Santo. If you happen to have these items already, white sage is great for cleansing negative energy, providing a fresh start for spaces and individuals. You can cleanse the self as well as your space with it. Same thing for Palo Santo. It promotes positivity, peace, and spiritual connection, and it is used to bring in blessings after a clearing. So Palo Santo is usually used in tandem with white sage and not just on its own. But again, reminder that white sage, Palo Santo, it's part of a closed practice. Only buy it ethically and sustainably sourced and with permission from the communities that it is coming from. The best, even better alternatives for smoke cleansing and clearing. Cedar. Cedar has been used for a long time for protection, grounding, banishing negative energy, and it's often used for cleansing. Cedar is a great alternative to white sage. So you can see the picture of it right here, cedar versus white sage. It's a great option. Sweetgrass is another really great option used to invite positivity and for creating connection to spiritual guides. But just like Palo Santo, sweetgrass is also considered a lighter smoke, and you want to use sweetgrass after cleansing with another smoke clear. So using cedar and sweetgrass in tandem can work very much like white sage and Palo Santo. They go hand in hand. Okay. Frankincense and myrrh. Going back to biblical times, these sacred resins are burned to raise vibrations, connect to the divine, and purify spaces. These, also, by the way, this says sacred resins, but it can also be purchased in an essential oil form if you would prefer to diffuse the scent in a diffuser. Burning lavender is also a great option. It's calming, soothing, great for emotional cleansing, clearing, and peaceful intentions. Rosemary, this is one of my absolute favorites. I didn't write this here, but rosemary is also naturally antibacterial, so it has a way of cleansing the air that is also like good for you, not just like a spiritual thing. But it's great for using for cleansing and protection. It's also very accessible and sustainable because that stuff grows everywhere, and grows very quickly. And it's a great alternative to using white sage. Mugwort is also a really great option. It's used to enhance intuition and spiritual connection, especially good for dream work and divination. I really like using mugwort in the form of a tea before bedtime because the dreams are next level when you have mugwort tea, but burning it for meditation is also something that is very powerful, especially for connecting with guides and with divination work. Other aromatic alternatives. Of course, there are many other alternatives which are considered open practice that you can use instead of smoke clearing, such as using an essential oil diffuser. My note about essential oil diffusers is that you'll want to make sure that you get a diffuser that is appropriate for the size of the room that you are working in. Not all oil diffusers are created equal. Some will cover smaller areas, and other diffusers, typically larger diffusers, will cover bigger rooms with more scent. So keep that in mind if you are in the market for an essential oil diffuser. Incense sticks or cones, another really great alternative. I use incense like all the time, incense cones as well. And you can also buy blessed incense. And of course, when it comes to incense, you also want to be making sure that it's coming from an ethically and sustainably sourced place, as well as with the permission of the communities it's coming from, because there are some sacred incense brands out there. I encourage you to do your own research on that one because the incense market is it's vast. So just keep that in mind if you are searching for um, some different kinds of incense sticks. Aromatic candles, another really great option. You can also make your own aromatic candles, which I would definitely recommend over purchasing store-bought aromatic candles, because unfortunately, in our modern day and age, a lot of aromatic candles are highly toxic, and that has to do with the fragrances that are in them. So, yes, they are an option, but making your own with dried herbs and again, anointing them with olive oil and putting your dried herbs such as lavender on them, great alternative to buying an actual scented candle. And then, of course, there are also ritual aromatic mists, which I'm so excited to be talking about my ritual mists in just a little bit. So, as I mentioned, aromatic options. You've got essential oils, you've got incense, you've got candles. All of these are considered open practice alternatives to bring in the air element. Whenever I'm sitting down to do manifestation work, magical workings, when I'm sitting in meditation, when I'm doing a crystal grid, it really doesn't matter what I'm doing, but I always try to tie in each one of the elements, earth, water, air, fire. And so these are some of the options that I really like to include just to keep everything nice and well-rounded and balanced. With the essential oils, I already mentioned the diffuser and what space you're putting it in, but it's also really important to understand the ingredients that are used with your oils. And it's important to also only use high quality oils. Now, I realize that getting into the essential oil diffuser route might not be a really cost efficient, like entry level type of thing for people because it can get very expensive, especially to start up your own like diffuser and essential oil collection. So something that I wanted to point out is using reed diffusers are also a really good option. They're a lot more affordable than buying the machine, and you can put in just a few reeds at a time into a small container, adding in your own essential oils, diluting it. Um, that will last a really long time, carry scent for a really long time, and again, they're a little bit more affordable. So consider that as an option. Incense is again another really great option. You will want to make sure to have an incense holder or tray. Be mindful of where that is coming from. And with anything that is burning, incense or candles, definitely don't leave those things unattended. If you have a pet that could accidentally bump it over, kids, whatever, just don't leave those things unattended. So just wanted to make sure to say that. Um, Again, candles are available in a wide range of options. But as with anything, the more that you are able to customize something and put your own intention behind it, such as anointing candles, is so powerful. So, yes, you can buy scented candles, but if you can anoint your own candles and put your own dried herbs on it, that will be even more powerful. All right. Now, let's talk about my handcrafted ritual mists. Every single one of these mists are herbally infused. They are crystal charged. They are energetically enhanced. Every single one of them was made within its own ritual. They are small batch. There is a limited number of each one of them, limited edition. Each one of them comes in a 2-ounce glass jar. Every single one of them is formulated with witch hazel, with 100% pure cold pressed coconut oil, organic essential oils, and they are designed for all magical craftings and spell workings that you can imagine. They can be used in a number of different ways. Um, Again, as I mentioned earlier, why would I decide to incorporate this? It's that muscle memory, it's that spiritual recall. It's a very powerful tool to integrate into your spiritual practice because it creates that sensory response in the body. So when you can tie a spiritual experience to a physical sensation in the body, you are more able, you are more easily and quickly able to tap into that frequency that you're seeking at any time. Not to mention, ritual mist can be used anywhere, anytime on the go, when you're traveling, whatever. I always have some of these in my bag next to my bed. I have like this is just such an incredible tool to me, and I'm very excited to share these with you. These are the limited edition ritual mists that I have available right now. First up, I have Clarity. This you can use for literally everything. Cleansing, clearing before approaching difficult tasks, environments, to cleanse your auric field after doing something or dealing with someone that was just like less than enjoyable. Clarity is a really great option for that. Then we have, um, oh, let me back up. In the Clarity Mist, there is, as I mentioned, 100% um, pure cold pressed coconut oil. There is witch hazel, chamomile, eucalyptus oil, and clear quartz crystal chips in this one. Next up, we have protection, which is great for all magical workings, dealings, and before travel, especially whenever you get in your car when you're going somewhere, like literally traveling on a plane, train, whatever. Um, Protection is always great. This one is onyx charged. It has sandalwood essential oil and infused with bay leaves. So that's protection. These two, clarity and protection, I think are absolutely essential. These are an essential duo kit that we will get into in just a minute. So clarity and protection. Next up, we have abundance in a cute little green bottle. This one is infused with rosemary, rosemary oil, crystal charged with citrine, and is great for attracting wealth, prosperity, and for use with all money and spell work. This one can also be used for road openings, so opportunities to abundance. Okay, so that is abundance. Then we have love spell. This one is a self-love and confidence enhancer. It supports existing love and attracts new love. This one has rose quartz crystal chips and geranium oil as part of that one. And again, this doesn't have to be like you're wanting to get a new date. This could just be self-love and confidence and self-worth type of work. Okay. And then last but not least, I have a brand new fresh batch of intuition cooking right now. Um, this one is really good for meditation and for connecting with higher realms and spirit guides, especially for enhancing your intuitive power. It was my intention for this one to be made specifically tonight under tonight's full moon in Gemini because of their mental agility and power. This was absolutely the energy that I wanted to include with this. This one has clear quartz, star anise herb, and rosemary oil in this one, rosemary essential oil. So that is intuition. Now, as I mentioned, I have an essential duo kit. That's these two. It includes clarity and protection. And right now for holiday season, I'm also including a bonus. So when you order the Essential Duo kit, you will also get a selenite wand crystal, a black protection candle, as well as a mist activation guide. Every single mist that you buy, no matter what, will always come with a mist activation guide because unless you can physically tie in the mist to your physical being with an initial exercise, you could just be using it just because, but if you haven't created that energetic connection with this tool, then it won't work as well for you. It'll still work, but that's why I've included a mist activation guide. Now, for the full set of 5, it includes the clarity, protection, the abundance, and it also includes the love spell and the intuition ritual mist. You will also get the gift of a selenite wand crystal, as well as a black protection candle, and of course that mist activation guide. And by the way, the mist activation guide is custom to every single mist. So every single mist, all 5 of these, have a different exercise that you'll want to do in order to connect to each one of these mists. Okay. And of course, if you're not interested in the kit and you just need one thing, I do have them individually for sale. They are 2-ounce glass bottle jars. It includes the mist of your choice, the activation guide, teaching you how to connect and activate your mist, set and match any intention. Okay. So that is all about the ritual mists. If you are interested in getting ritual mists, send me a message after this call. Let me know, and I will be more than happy to bring it to you. If you are within the Bay Area, if you are outside of the Bay Area, we will talk about shipping as an additional cost, but we will get together and discuss that. Key takeaways for tonight. These Gemini air qualities may have you feeling a little bit scatterbrained. So grounding down into your body with aroma and smoke tools so that when you're out in the world and you're feeling this scattered energy, you can bring yourself back down with these scents and remembering to practice gratitude in your journaling. When you lean into learning something new under tonight's moon, or you sign up for a new class or sharpening your intellect, you are honoring tonight's Gemini moon energy. Because whatever you decide to lean into, wherever your interest is and things that you've been thinking about, it has the potential to carry on throughout 2025. Okay. So whatever you decide to set your mind to during tonight's lunation and over the next 2 days while the moon energy is still potent is going to be a really new exciting chapter for you to start. So start by organizing your thoughts in order to release what no longer serves you, so that you can open yourself up to these opportunities, to these learnings, and to find new perspective and clarity. Thank you so much for being here. This was really exciting for me to put all of this together for you. And because we still have about 15 minutes, this is perfect because I wanted to do a card pull for the collective. It's been an incredible year, 2024. So let's kind of see what's going on for the collective. It's our last full moon. What deck do I want to use? I'm going to go for these two. So for our last full moon of the year, I want to start. Let's start off first with my air friends, okay? Air friends. Gemini, this is your moon. Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. What is the energy that we should be tapping into moving forward and into 2025 until our next new moon in January? Let's see what's going on for Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. What energy? Thank you. Reflection. We've been talking about this all night long. Thank you, spirit guides. Ascended Masters. Ooh, truth. We got the truth card. Reflection of your truth, your duality. Look at, we've got the twins here. Okay. This is just reiterating our message. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. One more card. Let's see. One more card. What are we tapping into going forward? Thank you, Spirit. Gentleness. I like that. So when we can sit in reflection on what our truth is, how we can integrate the light and the dark aspects of ourselves. Look at the doves around her. It's like we will be brought into new awareness and be able to move forward and deal with the situations that are coming our way in 2025 with gentleness. Thank you, Spirit. Now, air's best friend is fire. So for my Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries fire sign friends, thank you, Spirit. Holy angels, ascended masters, what do we need to tap into going into, thank you, 2025? Ooh, discernment. This is interesting. Is we've got the see no evil, speak no evil, hear no evil, all of these crows happening like they're off on a journey. But in order to figure out the best path forward, we're going to need to use discernment. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Wow. Oh, wow. Okay. We got the intention and freedom that's come up. So discernment and intention, these two to me are linked. In order to get to the freedom that we seek, we need to make sure that we are aligning with our intentions, making sure that that's super clear, using our discernment, because also what's behind the head on these three girls, I don't know if you can see, but behind one is a world map. Behind another is a literal compass, north, south, east, west, and all the degrees in between. And the other one is the zodiac calendar. So discernment, this is telling me spiritual and physical discernment. The map is telling me in travels. The intention here, there's like making sure that what you're pouring into is going to be worth your energy. There's definitely like seeking a freedom from the establishment here. Lots of change on the horizon for 2025 with fire signs here, but just making sure to move forward, utilizing discernment, trusting in yourself and where those answers come from, making sure that you're pouring in nothing but pure intentions because freedom is on the horizon. Thank you, Spirit. Now, after fire, the opposite we have is water. Let's go Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. What do we have in the cards for Scorpio, Cancer? Thank you, Spirit. Scorpio, Cancer, and Pisces. Thank you. Ooh, interesting. Thank you, Spirit. Okay. First cards to come out. Thought. The next card to come out. Change. The next one, hope. Okay, so to me, this girl is sitting here all up in her head, all absorbed in her thoughts, not looking around at the beauty that is around her, because it looks like she is in like this really beautiful like pavilion. And perhaps there is some change on the horizon that you are a bit resistant to, because this girl does not look ready at all to embrace some change. Like the change that's coming honestly kind of looks maybe a little tumultuous, a little bit scary. Like this might not be a change that you are manifesting. This might be a change that just comes in quick and just happens for you. But the owl above, owls to me, it's always a spiritual representation of ancestors, of divinity, of a higher power, higher being. This is divinely led. Um, but you need to get out of your head and lean into hope. That's what I'm seeing. This girl is definitely, I mean, she is so much more present in the garden. The amount of light that is happening on this card to me. Um, yeah, and then in the tree back here, we have joy, peace. It's so hard to read this. Truth, purity, all of these little things, and then this dove, all in these like little coins, all of those little words. So like leaning into the more positive vibrations. Um, Water signs, try not to get so lost in your head right now. That's the message that I'm coming through, because there's some change on the horizon. And if you can tap into the energy of hope and positivity over fear or the what ifs in your head, then all the better, because a lot's coming in 2025. All right, now, last but not least, my earth sign friends for 2025. What's coming in? Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus. Thank you, spirits, holy angels, ancestors, and spirit guides. What to eat? Thank you. Wow. We got 4 cards that came out here. Wow. Okay. First, there is a celebration to kick off 2025 for you. Celebration. There's a lot to celebrate here. There's 4 butterflies. So there's like this is multiple things that you're gonna have that you're celebrating. Um, Something that you've probably worked very hard for. You've achieved a lot. Beauty was the next card to come up. It's time to celebrate the beautiful things in life that are coming up, the abundance that you have. Look at all of these flowers and the beauty. Um, but we need to tap into the energy of playfulness. Try not to be so serious, my earth sign friends. This is a good thing. This is a playful thing that's happening for you. And in order to celebrate, look at the butterflies that we have going on in both of these. Like you have to embrace the playfulness of the celebration and the playful element of life, because this girl is like quite literally a butterfly on a toadstool, and this girl is being surrounded by butterflies looking like she's dressed like a toadstool. It's like we have like you have to just embrace the funniness, the silliness of it all, and it's also a celebration of the self. Okay, this girl's dancing in the butterflies. This girl is a butterfly. So it's also going to be a celebration of the self, of achievement, of beauty, of abundance, of all of these things that are rolling in. And last but not least, an awakening for my earth sign friends, Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus. There is something that is coming for you spiritually in 2025, something that you probably weren't expecting, but is just going to be more of like a bonus side effect, is kind of the vibe that I'm feeling. Like a bonus cherry on top. Like she's looking upwards, like, wow, and surrounded in all of this abundance here, the flowers, the beauty of it all. It's going to be like in this moment that all of a sudden you look around and go, wow, like I did that. Or, wow, this is really happening, kind of a thing. Okay. I have, I pulled one more deck out because I just feel like I just want to end it on like a affirmation kind of a note tonight. So thank you, spirits, spirit team, ascended masters, holy angels. Thank you for the message and the affirmation that we have for this full moon in Gemini, leading us into 2025. Thank you. Ooh, the fastest way to fulfillment is to live my values. Standing in your truth, standing in your authenticity. This was something that we heard come up already, aligning with your intention, using discernment, leaning into hope, getting out of your head. Yeah, I feel like this applies to like all of us. The best things in life are done when they are done authentically, and when they are aligned with who you are and your truth, right? So, on that note, I want to thank you all for being here tonight for this cold full moon in Gemini. Lots of energy going on tonight. I know that I'm feeling it. I'm feeling like so many ideas right now. I got to go do some journaling. I hope that you also have a great time journaling and doing your own rituals, whatever that may involve. And if you are interested in ritual mist kits or just have any thoughts, comments, questions, feedback, or of any kind, feel free to text, email me, or find me on social media. And with that, I will let you all have 2 minutes back of your evening. All right, everyone. I hope that you have a fantastic rest of your evening. Bye.